This poem is called Lost Souls. I doubted we knew how we began. We only knew the end, fire to gasoline skin. No, not even then, ashes, bone fragments, all dirty, black in sunlight. The end. I read a book and burnt it. How we held each other in a bed of shells, in another mind, that dream where we had no fathers or mothers, only strangers in their clothes. We wore black and blue, that strange green, pink too, like vows we were turning into sounds. You said you had sex with a teacher who squeezed your neck at the height of orgasm. You always scratched my back with your nails, you who knew me. In your last email, you said, I needed someone like you who understood alcohol as holy sacrament. It absolved us of sin. It let us experiment with different personalities whilst remaining somewhat plausible. Now, there was a student. He went to see a Zen teacher. And he told the teacher about this ongoing, reoccurring, intense problem he was having. And the teacher listened intently and said to the young student, Zen is a super fast train. Go, meditate upon this. And the student left completely perplexed. What did Zen and a train have to do with each other? They were centuries apart in their formations. He went to his mother, he went to his father, he went to his wife, he went to his 2-year-old child, and not one of them could explain it to him. He felt utterly alone with this teaching, with this Zen koan. He found himself going to the railway tracks and he ran straight in front of an incoming fast train. His body parts splattered across the train tracks. You always scratched my back with your nails, you who knew me. I wrote that poem after 3 months of an alcoholic-infueled sex escapade in Shoreditch with a girl called Ellie. And it ended not with a bang, but with a whimper. She left me to go back to Switzerland to work in a cigar shop. And I was left alone in my flat, feeling desperate. So I wrote a poem. I wrote that poem. I had it published in Lunar Poetry magazine. I kept my copy on the bedside table, even when my new girlfriend Laura would come over to stay. I would read that poem at open mic nights, and Laura would sit in the front row with a look of horror over her face. It was not that she hated the whole poem. It's a good poem. It's not that she hated the whole poem. It's that she hated one line. You who knew me. But that line, that line, we would roll around in bed playing with each other, laughing, giggling, kissing. And every so often we would tease each other with that line. You who knew me, 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 you who knew me. But that line was never playful. It infected us with a past that Laura wasn't even in. You always scratched my back with your nails, you who knew me. She ended up leaving. She ended up going to Edinburgh to sit in a cafe and write her novel about my regret, letting her go. Now, I'm not any sort of teacher, as you may be aware by this point. I am not Zen by any means. But if I've learnt anything from living on this earth for so many years that I no longer count, it is this. Melancholia sucks.